All right then. So we are today talking about pricing for maximum profit. You may have heard a lot of this from AVN previously, so it could be a recap for some of you, it could be brand new material for some of you, but it's just to give you a few ideas on how to price for maximum profit in your practice. So what I'm going to cover today, I did put this in the welcome email to inviting you to this, but I'm going to cover price discrimination strategy, adding more value, communicating your value, setting out your payment terms, formulating your price, making your price seem small, the power of context, and how your AVN membership can help. And I'm going to be looking at the wonderful piece of software, Time's Up. So first of all, I wanted to discuss price discrimination strategy. So as you may know, different customers will pay different prices. So you could look at how much you would pay for certain things. So if I say, how much would you pay for a cup of coffee? There are some people who would gladly go to Tesco and buy a jar of their value coffee and they'd be completely happy with that and maybe pay 99p for it. There are people who love to go to Costa, Starbucks, and they'd be willing to pay maybe £3 or £4 for your cup of coffee. And then there are people who maybe want to go to a nice Italian cafe, get some proper French press, roasted espresso, double shot with extra. Neville, can I ask you to just mute your microphone if that's okay? There's some feedback coming from your end, please. And they're willing to pay £7 or £8 for that cup of espresso. I'm just going to just mute some people. There we go. And they would be willing to pay, and for everybody, that they'd be happy with that cup of coffee, but they would be willing to pay different prices for that cup of coffee. And then I've got some other examples here of how you can use price discrimination strategy to look at people who would be willing to pay different prices for different products. So let's have a look at the first one, which is if we have a look at trading in. So the example I've given here is washing machines. So you may see regularly that if you trade in your old washing machine, you can maybe get £100 back. So say a washing machine would normally cost £300, you'd only end up paying £200 for it. Now your John Lewis's, your Comets, your Currys, they're not going to be wanting to pay. They're not going to be you doing anything with your old washing machine, but if you currently have a washing machine, you're going to be looking else. You're going to be looking all over the place. There's not a push, a drive for you to get a new one unless it's broken. You might think actually it's on its last legs. We'll have a look around. We'll see who will give us the best deal. Whereas if you're, say, a new couple or you just bought your first house and you need a washing machine there and then, you might go, oh, well, that AO.com, they say they deliver straight away, they can deliver tomorrow, we'll go with them. Price doesn't matter. So if you're looking at maybe trading in, you might say to a couple who've already got one, we'll give you £100 off. You couldn't say to people, a shop couldn't have a sign up saying, well, actually, if you already have a washing machine, we're going to give you them for £200. But if you never owned a washing machine, then you've got to pay £300. That would people say, well, you're discriminating against us. So a way of saying, actually, we'll trade in, we'll give you £100 for your old one. You're able to give existing users of washing machines that discount, and the people who actually need one straight away, not a discount. Switching this to an accountancy idea is you could maybe there may be a client you really want to work with and they've already got an accountant doing their compliance work. Well, you can say to them, well, I don't need to do your compliance work. You can keep that with Fred, but I'd love to work with you on some business consulting ideas. Obviously, the price would be reduced because you wouldn't be doing the compliance work, but you'd be able to do the business consulting work with them, which would then hopefully lead to them wanting to work with you and giving you their compliance work and giving you everything else. But it just gives you that bit chance to be able to talk to people and say, well, actually, I can do your business consulting with you, and I can, but I don't want your compliance work. So again, that just allows you to do price discrimination and give people maybe a cheaper price, without it being obvious. You're able to trade in for maybe not doing the compliance work and doing the business consulting and still getting to work with that ideal client. You can also do it with other aspects. Is you can, in Times Up, it allows you to say, well, we'll have a look at the quality of your books. So you're saying to them, as a trade, people with high quality books will get a discount because it means less work for you. So you're saying to them, if you have high quality books, or if you're doing things on Xero, or if you're doing things online, and everything's done correctly, your bookkeeping's fine, we'll give you a bigger discount. Or you're saying to people who've maybe never done accounts before, accounting is not their foray, that they give you the books and you will do all that work for them, but there'll be an extra cost for that. So again, people who are happy to do the bookkeeping and would like that get like that smaller price, they will do the work for you. People who don't have that idea and know all the extra work you're going to be doing, they'll be happy to pay the higher price. There are other aspects where you can see just price discrimination on a regular basis. There's timings. So railway tickets, I had to book a return to Manchester the other day, and you can do you pick your leaving train and your train to Manchester and your train back from Manchester. And if I wanted the higher value slots, the priority slots, if you were looking at between 8 and 9, the price actually tripled in price if I wanted to go between 8 and 9 to Manchester. After 9 o'clock, I was looking about £10. Before 9 o'clock, I was looking £30 one way. Because I didn't have to travel during rush hour, I was like, no, that's fine, I'll go after 9 o'clock. I'm just going to go meet a friend. But if I had a meeting to go to, I would need to travel in that time slot. It's a high peak time slot, and then so I would have paid the £30. And again, coming back, if I left before 5 o'clock, it was fine. I wouldn't have to. I could have got the cheaper ticket. Between 5 and 6, again, the ticket's quadrupled, and it's that demand. People pay different prices. If they need to travel at that time, they need to travel. They will pay that price. If they didn't have to, they would go for the cheaper price if that's what they wanted. You've got bundling as well. I mean, this is something we talk about a lot at AVM, but say for restaurants, you can go to a restaurant, there's a set menu there with maybe 3 starters, 3 mains, 3 desserts, and it's for a set price, say £20 a head. And people who don't want to spend a lot of money on a meal or are happy with that set menu, they'll go, no, that's fine, that gives me what I want, and it's a cheap price, I'll pay £20. Whereas people who don't mind paying more will hand pick things off the a la carte menu and make their own menu. Money's not an object. They want to treat themselves, that they will happily do that. You've got offers as well. So people know that OAPs and students are a lot more price sensitive. They have a lot less money. They're on a pension or they're on a student loan. So you'll see a lot of offers for OAPs and students. You'll still want them as clients, but if they're price sensitive, they can't afford your product, then they are going to they'll either look elsewhere for offering those. So to keep them as a client, especially students who will hopefully eventually go on to get better jobs and will be able to pay your premium service, having that student and that OAP offer. Again, you're not got a big sign there saying, well, younger people or older people get it for free. It's just if you're an OAP and you've got that card to prove it, or you're a student and you've got that card to prove it, we'll give you a discounted rate. You've got your premium versus economy, and a prime example of this is whenever the Harry Potter books got released, they didn't have them at midnight, and you can say, oh, you can have the hard copy book at £12, or you can have the paper cover at £6. If you wanted it there and then at midnight, and you were a die-hard fan and you were having it no matter what, people are willing to pay the full hardcover price, and they flew off the shelves. And then your more price-sensitive people, or your less raving fans, would maybe wait 6-12 months down the line and get the paper copy version of it, just to save some money. So again, you've got your premium versus economy. The demand for it now, the raving fans, they want it, they don't care about the price, or your people who are willing to wait and they'll wait for the economy version to come out. And then a really popular one, you'll see it every day if you go to coffee shops every day, is your menu pricing in coffee shops. You can got your small, your medium, your large, or your venti, your grande, and you'll see that the price difference between the medium and the large is so slight. I do it all the time where I think, actually, it's only 25p to go large, I'll go large. Or you've got your people who'll go, no, I only want a small coffee, that's all I want to pay for, I'll go for the small coffee. And you're getting exactly the same product, just different sizes of it. but people will choose depending on how price sensitive they are. If they've only got £3 in their pocket, they'll go for the smaller one. If they've maybe got £5-10, they'll go for the larger one. And you're selling the same product, but people are willing to pay different prices for it. Costa and Starbucks don't just have, you've got one latte, one cappuccino, one espresso. They have all different sizes of it for these people who are willing to pay more. And to be honest, the size difference between a medium and a large isn't that great, but you're just selling that little bit more product, and you can have that price discrimination to if people are willing to pay more for that. So the next thing I want to look at is actually adding more value, because one thing that people look at when they're looking at any products, they'll look at the price of it, but they'll also look at what value they're going to get from that product. So there are 3 areas you can look at here. You can look at the tangible benefits. So these are the touch-feely, the physical things they're going to get from you. And sometimes as an accountant, that can be quite hard, because really you deliver a set of accounts, and if it's online, it's a virtual set of accounts. So again, it's something that's not that tangible. So you want to be able to physically give them something. This is what I can give you as an accountant. So there's the set of accounts. As ABM members, you could give them a benchmarking report to showcase where they are now compared to their competitors, and that's something you can do on a 6-monthly, yearly basis to see how they're improving, and again offer services to help them improve. There's the what if analysis that is in System Builder. So that shows what if they increase their prices by 2, 5 and 10%, how could that increase their bottom line? What if they decrease what they spend by 2, 5 and 10%, how could that improve? What if they got 2, 5 and 10% more clients, how would that improve them? Like I said, there's a what if analysis report in System Builder. It's a really nice spreadsheet that does all the analysis for you. Or if you wanted to go that step further, there's the SSTW software, Simple Stuff That Works, and that again can produce a report for you, just showing little changes and how they can make a bigger impact on your clients. And then you can also offer a cash flow forecast, and again, it's something tangible, something to show them what they're getting from you, what service they're getting from you as their accountant. You've also got intangible benefits. Now these are something that go more on emotional triggers, so how they're feeling, what pain are they feeling, how can you help them, how can you make things improve, are they feeling a lot of pain from the amount of debts that they're in, from how their business is, from the fact that they're not spending enough time with their friends and their family, from any sort of emotional triggers that you think, actually, by me doing your accounts, by me helping your business, this is how I can help you. And a lot of people work on the fields. They don't mind about the numbers, but if you can improve the way they're feeling, that could be everything to them. So again, it's not something you want to overlook. You want to have a look at what pain they're in now and how you working with them and working with their business can help them. And you've also got to drill into what pain it is. So are they not earning enough money? Some people's trigger is not earning enough money, that they're not happy with their lifestyle. Can you help them earn more money? Can you help them get more time with their children? It could be that emotional figure. Is their health suffering? So you think, actually, your health suffering from this business, we can help you get your business working properly, get some more people working with you, reduce your stress. Or it could be another way you can help them intangibly is the service experience. So when they ring up, do your team members know how to answer the phone? Do they know all your clients by name? Can they have those conversations with them? Can they make that service experience feel fantastic? Have you got systems in place so that your clients know if they deliver something to you, or if they leave a phone message, you'll get back to them within 2 hours, or if you email them, you'll get back to them within 24 hours. Have you developed that service where people think, actually, no, it's worth the money working with my accountant for the service that I get? And there's also the perception of price. So you've got to make sure that they perceive the price is small. So it could, again, we said different people play different things. Small to different people, it means different things. But you need to get the perception the price is small and the value is big, because the more the value reduces, they're not seeing value in it, or if the price gets higher than the value, that's where you're going to have the issues. That's where you're going to have struggle trying to actually sell the prices and sell to your clients. So perception is vast, is a big thing when looking at adding value, is making sure that the value stays high. and communicating this value. So there's no point in thinking, oh yeah, we could give great value to clients and then not communicating it properly to them. So for an example of this is you've got to explain to the client what's in it for them, why they should work with you. What Times Up does, and I'll show you later, is when you're going through the different services, there is a small box with an explanation of that service. So you could explain, we can do VAT returns for you, and they can go, oh, no, that's great. If you explain why you should be doing the VAT returns for them, why they shouldn't be doing it themselves, why nobody else should be doing it, why that you turn it around in a certain time, that you make sure the numbers are correct, that you're all fully trained accountants that work at your practice, that things will be done correctly, that the peace of mind they'll get by doing it, and maybe flip it and say the pain they'll get if they don't do it, if it's not done correctly. And you could do that for all your services. You could say, this is what it means to you, this is what it means to your business, and explaining the benefits of each of the services really helps the client understand. I mean, they're not accountants, they're not mathematically minded, they don't understand it, they just know they need an accountant if they run their own businesses. So explaining the benefits of it to them, how it affects them, is a big thing. And communicating value also can be affected by when you discuss the price. So when is the right time to tell your client the price? Is it upfront? So say when you go to a restaurant, the menu's in front of you. When you go to Starbucks, the menu's in front of you. You know exactly how much it is first. So the baristas aren't going to start explaining to you where the coffee comes from and how they process it and how they make the coffee and everything beforehand, before telling you the price. So they're not going to do that sales process and then tell you the price. The price is just there up front. So we do have some members who, on their websites, they do have the prices on there of the different services that they offer. You've also got it where it's post-service. So say accountants and lawyers are sticklers for this, where it's done on time-based billing. So they'll say, it depends how long it takes. We have timesheets and we will produce you a bill at the end, and it's a surprise bill. And again, a lot of clients don't like that. They don't want to be surprised. They want a budget. They want to know exactly how much it's going to cost them. They want to have that perception of, well, the price is this, but the value is this. They need to get that in their heads. So actually deciding when the price discussion is going to take place is very important. Are you going to do it before you provide the service, or are you going to do it after? And Times Up allows you to do it before the service. It allows you to know exactly what they're going to get, exactly what the price is going to be, and what the benefit will be for the client. So when you're communicating your value, you may come across some price resistance. And there are reasons why you will be getting resistance. So I just want to go through a few of those. So the one of the reasons why you may get price resistance is that the customer just cannot afford it. So if they cannot afford it, are you targeting the right clients? Are you marketing in the right places? Because if you're getting people coming through saying it's too expensive for me, has your marketing been right from the start? Are you marketing the right kind of people? Because if they say they can't afford it, then it could be that you've marketed the wrong people from the beginning. So it's actually looking at your ideal clients, who you should be aiming your service at. Do you want to be looking at multi-million-pound businesses? Do you want to be looking at small front room businesses? Do you want to have a certain turnover, a certain amount of team that they're working with, a certain industry that they're in? And that's where you should then be focusing your marketing. You're getting people that are saying they can't afford it. Your price isn't wrong. The type of people that you're attracting is wrong. You might also get people saying that they can't see the value. So this is where you're not selling yourself properly. You're not discussing the value. You're not showing what's in it for them. Your service could be really valuable for them, but it's not getting across to them in the right way. So you need to look back at how you are showcasing your services, showcasing what you offer to the client, what difference you can make, and making them see the value. Or it could be that there's not enough value. So you could have actually sold the value really well, but then there's not enough for them. The price is too much. So the price and value equation, the price has gone too high and the value is not overtaken that. The value always needs to be higher than the price. That the perception, again, we're coming back to. So you need to relook at what you're offering and what the values are, and make sure that those values are perceived as better than whatever price that they're paying, higher value than the price that they're paying. So targeting the right customers, making sure that there is enough value and communicating that value is vital for when you're pricing. So communicating your value, again, like we said, it's extremely important to communicate that value, because without any contrast, everything either sounds expensive or it can sound cheap. So if I say to you, I'm selling a car and I'm going to sell it for £10,000, and you could think, well, that sounds very expensive, but it could be a BMW 5 Series, or it could be a Toyota Yaris. And without you knowing the details, without you knowing the value of that car that I'm selling, that price could sound really expensive if I then showcase you a Yaris, or it could seem really cheap if I'm showcasing you a BMW 5 Series. So again, it's the contrast. You're contrasting with them to communicate the value properly. So you could contrast working with you with a number of things. So the cost of not doing it. So currently they're in a lot of pain that their current accountant is not doing things correctly. They've got they're getting investigations through the HMRC. They're not earning enough. Their clients are complaining. So working with you, yes, there's going to be the initial layout of the cost, but actually the benefit of it can make that seem so much worthwhile with the current pain that they're in. So you could say the cost of not working with me would be X. The opportunity of not doing it, so the lost opportunities, so what they could lose by not working with you, what they could lose by not doing things with you. So the fact that you do have different resources and tools to work with them, the fact that you could benchmark them to showcase how they're doing it and look at areas that they could work on, the fact that you could look at what ifs analysis and have a look at areas that they could work on and look at little tweaks that they could do to change things. So the lost opportunities if they don't work with them, and then the benefits that would have of working with you. The cost of comparable solutions. So I mean, a lot of them might say, well, Fred down the road, he can do it for £200 less than you can. What Times Up does with the fixed price agreement is showcase absolutely everything in detail, what you're offering with that price. So get them to print that off, get them to take that to Fred and say, right, what are they offering that you aren't, or what are they offering? What are you offering that they aren't? Get them to highlight through it, and it comes back saying, well, actually, no, your services are a lot more valuable. Yes, it is more, but it costs more, but I'm getting a lot more from you. So it's just comparing them to the other people that they're taking it with. And we've had a lot of people who offer, I'm going to talk about later, guarantees. Michael Henn spoke about it at our latest conference, that he offers guarantees. And when he knows that people have got, they're maybe going to see 3 or 4 other accountants, he makes sure that guarantee is shown there on the fixed price agreement, because it compares that he's guaranteeing his service. He has such faith in his team and the service that he offers that nothing else will compare to that. No other accountants in his area are offering that, and that is such a big pull for the A-list clients that you want to work with. And then the cost of doing it themselves. So there is this threat at the moment that HMRC is saying, well, you can do it yourself, you can do your self-assessment tax return, you can do your own bookkeeping, and just the cost, and it's not the financial cost, it's the time of doing it themselves, how much time you can save them, the fact that they can send everything to you, go home at the end of the night, spend time with their family, with their friends, do the sports that they want to do, go see the teams that they want to go support, and you're doing it for them, and the actual time that it would take them to do it, and how much easier you can make it on them doing it for them, is another good contrast to show that yes, you may be you may seem expensive, but the actual cost of working with you works out so much better value-wise than working with anybody else. And then you've also got 3 communication techniques that I want to discuss. So communicating value is very important, but how you communicate the price can be everything. So there are 3 different ways that you can do this. There is getting the price out of the way early. So you may, so when you're using Times Up, you've got the 3 different bundles that you can use. So once you put in the general information about the client, you click on which bundle level that they want, and instantly the price is there. Then you can talk about everything that's within that bundle. So the price is there, they're aware of what it is, and then you can sell the service. You can talk about the price, you can talk about the services, you can talk about the benefits, the value, and the more you talk about it, the better, the less relevant the price seems. That they're hearing about the value, you're making the value increase, you're creating that bigger value. You could do it another way, which is the price benefit sandwich. So you talk about a few benefits of working with you. So again, with Times Up, you can maybe talk about the 5-star level of service, what it means, and then you can click on it and then show the price, and then talk about a few more benefits. So the price is in the middle. So you get them on board, you start talking about all the benefits, start building that value, let them know the price, and then you build on top with more benefits and let them know more about the value of working with you. So you're building the value around the price in the middle. And then there's also linking phrases. So you've always got to bring it round what's in it for them. So some great linking phrases are, we do this, which means that you don't have to, which means that you can have more, we could increase your bottom line, we can increase your salary, which means that we could look at lowering the cost of your business. Or this means that. So this means that you can spend more time with your family and friends. This means that you will no longer have to work weekends. Or so that. So we will look at this so that you no longer have to, or so that we can increase your prices without losing too many clients. And it's linking phrases. So rather than making a statement, you then bring it back around of what it means for them. So what it means for them as a client. So setting out your payment terms is very important as well. So communicating when you're going to get paid. So the beauty of Times Up is it looks about separating it over however many months you want to do, and making sure that they're aware that it's going to be a direct debit, or whether they need to be paid up front, or whether you're going to be able to split it for them. But it just also means that you start getting the direct debits through as you're doing the work. So you don't have any payments waiting until work's done. You're not doing work and building up debtor days. People start paying as soon as they start working with you, and it's spread across. Which is what the majority, I think, of AVM members do, is they spread the cost over, say, 12 months direct debit, instead of doing all the work and then giving the client the bill and then having debtor days, then waiting for the client to pay that bill, because the work's already done. It's not like you can take the accounts back and say, no, you're not going to have them anymore. It's not a tangible product you can take away. Once the accounts are done and everything's filed, you're then waiting for the payment. If you get them paying in advance, sometimes you can get minus debtor days where you're actually got nobody in debt because they've already started paying in advance, and you're starting to do the work as it comes in, and you're waiting for the books, and you're not got any debtor days building up, and you don't have to go with the industry norm, which could be, well, actually, no, we don't take any payments until we've done the work. Why should you not? You're constantly working on clients' cases and files and their accounts throughout the year. Why not take the payments throughout the year? So it's setting out the payment terms, again, from the beginning of the working relationship, from when you do the quote, so the client is aware of it. They know that £300 a month is going to come out, or £100 a month is going to come out, however much you charge, and they're aware that payment's going to come out, and they should see you as a supplier of a service. You're supplying a service, and they maybe wouldn't cancel any of their other suppliers or not pay those. So it's just getting them used to that you're a monthly service, it's going to come out, and then you're working with them and working with them on a constant. So it's very important to set those payment terms out early, right at the beginning of the relationship. Not sticking to industry norms. So not saying that well, this is what everybody else does, so you should do what works best for you. And like I said, Times Up just give you the opportunity to spread the payments between 2 and 12 months. So if you want to maybe get it all the payments in the first 6 months of the year, you can do that. If you want to spread it out over the entire year, you can do that as well. So formulating your price. So again, I keep talking about this value. The value needs to be seen bigger than the price. So the price needs to be seen small, irrelevant to the client, and the value needs to be what stands out. So the more value you give, though, the higher the price should be. You shouldn't be giving away services for nothing. So that's why when we bundle the services in Time's Up, the 3-star has very few services in, the 4-star has more, the 5-star has more, but as you go up to the 5-star, the price increases, but they're still getting a lot more value. The equation of value to price is the same at 3-star as is for 5-star. You just pay more at 5-star, but you're getting a lot more value. And you can quantify the savings that you're creating for them. So if you're having a look at areas that you've looked at and prices that you've saved them, whether it's by incorporating, whether it's by looking at the remuneration planner, quantify those savings. So actually say, well, actually, you may be paying us £5,000 this year, but by working with us, we can actually save you £10,000 in all different areas of your business. And it's quantifying all those little savings that you manage to do for them as you're working with them, as you're doing the business consultancy. So an example of paying more for more value is Amazon Prime. So you can sign up to Amazon for free. Just put your email address in, and you can get any of the products that are on there. What they've done with Amazon Prime is for around £70 a year, you can get things next day. So for people who think speed is fantastic, they're willing to pay that next level up to use Amazon and get the movies on demand and get things delivered the next day, and they're willing to pay £80 for a service which you could get for free and just use ad lib. But if they're impressed by speed, they're willing to pay that little bit extra. They're willing to pay extra for the next day delivery and for the on-demand movies, whereas other people are getting the same service without the speed and not paying anything for it. So again, people are willing to pay that extra for something that they see as valuable for them. So making the price seem small. I keep talking about making the price seem small. I'm not saying reduce the price, you just got to make it seem small. So we've got some ideas here. So which seems smaller, £1,008 or £84 per month for 12 months? What the Quantitative Economic Marketing Journal found is that if you segment your price visually, that seems a lot smaller, even though both of those prices actually are £1,008. To the consumer, the £84, chunking it down and paying the £84 a month is just a lot more valuable for them and seems a lot smaller for them than paying it all up front, the £1,008. So they're paying exactly the same. These two clients, if they pay you £1,008 up front or £84 a month, they're paying exactly the same. It's just the price seems smaller for the £84 a month. You've also got the power of 9. I know Mark talks about this a lot, and you may see at AVN all of our prices end in a 9, or majority of our prices end in a 9, should I say. And again, it was a study that was found where there was 3 prices for a product delivered over the space of a few months. It was sold at £34, £39 and £44. And the research study showed that more was sold at the £39 price than at the cheaper price of £34. And it's the psychological factor that ending in a 9. That price difference was actually a 24% increase in sales, and even though the price was higher. So ending the price in 9 can really help as well. Just the description. So looking at this, a £5 fee or a small £5 fee. Again, you're just changing the perception of what that £5 is. A small £5 fee and a £5 fee. Obviously, the small £5 fee seems smaller, even though they're both the same. So looking at your wording as well, your description of certain aspects. And keeping things simple. The Journal of Consumer Psychology did a research study back in 2012, and looking at all these prices, consumers actually found price C to feel the cheapest, feel the smallest, should I say. So they're saying don't use commas and decimal points and pence. Just keep it simple, and it does make the price appear smaller to consumers. So I did touch on it briefly earlier on, but the power of strategies. So looking at what your clients really want to hear. So looking at the benefits that they want to hear, looking at looking at what they want to hear from their accountant. They want their accountant to do their to do their bookkeeping for them, do the compliance work for them. But they may also want them to help them with their business. They may also want them to sort of help guide them and look at different ways of improving the business. So it's making sure that you're selling that aspect of your service to them. Looking at what specific promises you want to make. So looking at what they want from their accountant. Do they want their accountant to be available on the phone? Or so you could say, will we return all phone messages within 2 hours? Do they want you to be responsive on email? So if you email us, we'll respond to you in 24 hours. Do they want fast turnaround of work? So if you say, well, if you get your books to us by a certain date, we will get them back to you within 30 days. And keeping them realistic. You don't want to set any promises that you can't make, because then you're failing on the clients and you're over promising and under delivering. But making sure that any promises that you can make and they want to hear, that you're telling them that. Systems are very then key to have them in place, because you don't want to make the promise and fulfill it once and then never fulfill it again. So making sure that once you've set promises in place, that things are systemized, so it's done every time. So every phone call is returned, that every email is returned, and you have systems in place to do this. And like I said, putting a guarantee in place. If you can guarantee, if you can put a guarantee in place that your clients will be happy with the service, that you'll get a turnaround time within 30 days, that you'll make sure all the promises that you've made to them are done, put that guarantee there and guarantee it to your clients, and they'll be that it'll be something so unique to them. I know that Michael Hem does promise this, and he said the first time he did it, he was so scared, but he knows his team and he knows that he can deliver on those promises, and he has done, and no one yet has activated that guarantee. But it is a big pulling point when you're in with a prospect trying to differentiate yourself from other competitors. The power of context is big as well. So Mark tells this story, and I do like this story, of you're holding a bottle of Chardonnay. It's not got a very remarkable label on it. It's from 1999, so it's not the greatest of vintage, and it's been imported from some people in Luton. It's not a name you've heard of. How much are you willing to pay for that bottle of wine? He does this a lot in a lot of his pricing seminars. So it gives you some ideas. So you could say, well, if the first time I say it's from Sainsbury's, the second time it's from one of those little corner shops where you maybe run when you've run out of bread and it's Christmas Day and it's the only place that's open and there's random bottles of beer around and things on offer, or it's from a really nice wine merchant where you maybe have to travel a bit further, but you know that they stock in the best wine, and the people that work there really know their wines, they know what they're talking about, they can get you some really good pairings for what meals you're doing. And the prices that he gets back is people willing to pay about £4 in the corner shop, about £6 in Sainsbury's, and about £8 in the wine merchants for the same bottle of wine that he's showcasing. So again, you can change the price of the product by how it's packaged. So if you were to go do a quote for a service, so again, it's the service that you always offer, and you take maybe a pen and a piece of paper and you're writing it down and stick your finger in the air and you say, oh, this is what the price is for this service. Or you maybe take the Times Up software with you and you can showcase that that same service that you offer, but it's on a screen. It looks really sleek. The software is actually adding up the numbers for you, so it's not you pulling them from out thin air. There's a full description, a full fixed price agreement is printed out for you there and then. You can email it to them straight after the meeting. Again, the context of how those two services are offered can mean that people are willing to pay a lot higher price for the same product that you're offering. So again, Times Up can really help with the delivery of that product. So I've been talking about Times Up a lot, so what I wanted to do was just actually go through Times Up briefly and showcase just the ideas that we've discussed today, how you could use those by using Times Up. Just looking at the chat box, Carl, you've asked, where do we find the what if calculator? It's in System Builder. What I'll do is I'll put the link in the email that I'll send you all out after this meeting with a link to it. And like I said, it's a very simple calculating spreadsheet, but it's really strong for just to take to a client just to show the impact of slight changes can have on the business. So I will put that in the link to the in the email that I send out. Before I move on to Time's Up, does anybody have any more questions? Do you want to just type in the chat box, or by all means come on camera and talk to me? While you're doing that, I will just share my Time's Up. So, everybody seems okay at the moment, which is fantastic. So I will just share my screen now with Time's Up on, and we'll just go through some of the ideas that we've discussed already. So as you all know, this is Time's Up. You've all got access to it. I'm currently in a client here. So what I'm going to do is I've opened a new quote, and I'm going to go into your business. So automatically, the context of me selling accounts or selling account processes, it's looking really good. The client, you can have it, like I said, on your laptops, on your iPads. It works without Wi-Fi. So if you're going to go meet a client somewhere and you're not 100% sure whether you've got Wi-Fi or not, it doesn't need Wi-Fi. As long as you've synced before you leave your office or before you leave internet access, it's completely fine to go and start using. So what you do is start off, there we go, is you type in the description. So I'm going to put I'm meeting Thomas from this business, so, and I'm going to put it's the first quote that I'm doing for them. It's already pulled in the information from when I put the client in the software already. So it's put that they're a sole trader, that the year end is in June, that they work in the plumbing and heating. So I need to put in the business type. So in the business type, you have got whether they're business to business or business to consumer. This doesn't affect the price at all. It's just allowing you to just tick something in business type. We've added IT consultant because IT consultants are a good example of somebody who might have a high turnover but low transactions. So that it's not fair to compare them with other businesses of a similar turnover who may have much more transactions for you to deal with. So this actually gives them a discount. This is where you could do your price discrimination. So you could put, if you really want to work with a type of business, you could put in different types of business in this area and give them a discount. If there's types of businesses you really hate working with and you think, I don't really want to turn them down as a client, but I'd really like to get a bit more money if I'm working with this type of client. So say I know that farmers tend to be difficult clients to work with. You could put farmers in there and add on a certain percentage that you want to add on to the bill to actually work with that type of client. You can add all different types of clients to the business types and actually have it so they're either charged less or more depending on the industry that they work in. You could also have maybe if you've got some clients and you're switching to Time's Up and you're a little bit worried about them maybe going on to the higher price, if you think actually it's going to be quite a big price hike for them, you could have a VIP client in here where you give them a slight discount for this year and then gradually reduce that discount over the years so it gradually introduces them to Time's Up. All this is done in the options and behind the scenes, but you can have as many business types as you want. I'm just going to say that they're a business to business here. So next is the account system. So we have discussed this previously, where you can say to them, well, what type of accounts do you have? And so actually, I'm using a spreadsheet on the computer. So, well, how would you say that how would you describe that spreadsheet? So, it's really good. It's very good, actually. This then brings up the account rating system, where you can click on that and you can say, well, actually, if you were to be providing me with good accounts, then this is what you'd be offering. So I'll just show you what that is. So I'll just share that with you. So this is the accounts rating system. It is in System Builder and it's completely editable. So if you want to change it, you can. If you want to add any certain products in there, so if you want to give a bigger discount if they're using Xero, or if they're using any of the other aspects, if they're using Receipt Bank or anything like that, you can add that in. And so you can say, well, good means that you're going to provide all these aspects, all these things are going to be done for us before you give the books in. You're still happy to say that they're good. And they'll either agree with you and say, no, that's fine, I can give that. They can actually say, oh, actually, no, my accounts, I can do more than that. I can bring you excellent, which would then reduce the price even more. Or they say, actually, no, I think if I'm being honest, it's going to be average that I'm going to be giving to you. So again, you're just making that decision and you're setting up the price. You can showcase to them, though, actually, if you're only giving average, that only gives you a 10% discount. Whereas if you were giving excellent, that gives you a 60% discount. And again, you can turn it on its head. So if they say, well, actually, no, if I push myself and if I work a few more extra hours, I can actually do excellent. And you could switch things saying, well, you could do that if you want, but remember, we can do this for you. We can free up that time. You don't have to spend that much time doing the accounts because we can do that for you. So it's just having those conversations about what level they can provide to you, what level they want to provide to you, and how much that discount means to them. Does the discount in monetary value mean more to them than actually giving you poorer accounts, but actually having more time to be able to do things themselves? So you can have that conversation with the client while you're doing this. So my client's going to decide, actually, it's their average, the accounts they're going to give to them. Let's go back to Time's Up. So we're going to go back in after having that discussion, and we're going to go their average. And then you put in the turnover range. So again, they should know that. So we'll say it's this one. And then what you have available is it shows you the 5, 4, and 3-star services. Now you can go about those different ways depending on how we've spoken. So you can do the get the price out of the way first and then start talking about it. So you can say, oh, you'd like the 5-star, that's great. We'll mark the 5-star, and that puts the price up instantly, showing the monthly investment over 10 months is £348, and it shows them what they're going to be getting in this list here. And then you can go on about the benefits. So the price is already in the room, and then you can talk about the benefits of the 5-star service. If you didn't want to do that, what you could do is actually bring up this document here. So I'll just bring that across for you to show. Which actually explains the 5-star document. So what you could do is actually have a bit of an explanation about the 5-star document first. It doesn't have any pricing in it, so it doesn't tell you, it doesn't say to them, well, this costs this much. But what it does do is it gives the explanation. So you could showcase that document to them, say, well, this is what the 5-star is, explain it to them, then bring up the price, and then show them the benefits as well. So obviously this is your pricing benefit sandwich. So the price comes up in the middle of the conversation, in the middle of all the benefits that you're showcasing to them. What you would do then is you're showcasing the higher price first. So it's the psychology of, they'll get this higher price into the head. Anything else you show them afterwards is cheaper. So they're either going to say, no, that sounds great. You've explained the benefits. You've shown the value. And they can say, no, that's great. We'll go for it. Or think, actually, we can't afford that at the moment. It's out of our price range. This is when you would then go onto the 4-star. It's unticking in this list here what they're no longer getting. So they're automatically showing what they're losing out on. The price is instantly dropped in front of their eyes, so they can see that the price is reducing. So again, it's showing them that. And then they're also comparing it to the previous price. So you've got the comparison there, you've got the contrast. This now seems cheaper, whereas if you'd have maybe shown this first, this would have seemed the price too high again. But now this price is already seeming smaller because they have the contrast of the 5-star service. And again, then you can talk about the benefits, you can showcase. It has the document attached here if you want to showcase even more benefits, if you want to show them what it involves. And then you can go through the different services. You can do that again. So if again they say, actually, I don't think I can afford that, it's a bit too much at the moment, you may want to then look at who you're targeting, that they cannot afford these prices. You might want to say, am I getting the value across enough for them? Is there enough value for this to be okay, I can afford this. I will go with this with you. So then the 3-star, again, it unticks everything. It's showing what they're losing. The price in comparison to the 5 and the 4 looks a lot smaller, so you reduce the price. And you're also showing the value that they're losing as well by it being unticked. So you're showing that the value is also coming down, not only just the price. So you're keeping that equation open, and you're keeping those conversations going. So actually, by losing everything that's been ticked off there, that might then bump up saying, actually, no, I really want all that tax planning. I really need the help with that, so I'd like to go back to 4-star. So again, by showing the values reducing, not only the price, it may then push them back up to the 4-star, which, as we've said already, looks smaller in contrast to the 5-star. And then you have the option to just go through and add further benefits to them. So you can go through each of these services. They each have a full description of the benefits here. You can add to this word and you can change the word to suit your practice. And you can go through each of these services. So you're doing a really nice soft sell, cross sell. You're showing all the services you can offer to them. It may not have even come up into conversation that they need help with bookkeeping, that they need their self-assessment tax return done, that you can do that for them. And you'll just go through each of the areas. If it's greyed out already, that shows that they're already getting that as part of the service. So again, it's showing the value that they're getting already, the service that they've chosen. They're already getting all of this help. And then you can just go through each of the areas to do that, to showcase that and to build on that quote that you're doing, so that pricing that you're doing. So then what you can do is produce the proposal. Again, it's the packaging of it. So you can say, actually, I can produce the proposal for you now and I can email it straight for you. It has digital signature on it. So if you wanted them to sign on the dotted line there and then, they can do digital signature on it, either on the iPad with their finger or with a stylus, or on your laptop with the mouse. And then you can email it straight over to both of you. Or if they need to decide, you can email the proposal. It's there straight away, or you can print it off if you have access to a printer. You don't say, I've got to go back to the office and I'll write it up for you and I'll post it out in the next day. It's instant. It's with them. They're aware of what they're getting on offer. The value's there, and again, the price has been shown there. And hopefully the value is outweighing the price. So the price doesn't mean as much to them as how much value that they're going to be getting. So that was a quick whistle-stop tour through Time's Up for you, just to showcase what we've spoken about today. Is there anything else that anybody wanted me to go through with regards to pricing? So Ian, you use a Mac 99% of the time. Ian, I'll give you a call at the end of this. Have you changed it in System Builder? So you've changed it in System Builder. You've made the fixed price agreement live in System Builder, so it's green lighted, and then you've synced Time's Up to pull it through. Do you know if you've done all those aspects? So in System Builder, a lot of the documents that get pulled through are stored, and you can make changes to them. So it works on the Windows laptop, right? Because I use a Mac as well. What I'll do is I will look into that, Ian, and I'll get back to you with an answer for that. Does anybody else use Macs? If I put it on the final email, or if I just send it to Ian? If you use a Mac, if you just pop a message in the message box, then I'll make sure that if you're having that same issue, I can sort that out for you. So we are finishing a little bit earlier than I'd planned. But as long as you've got value and you've come away with some ideas on how you're going to relook at your pricing and how you're going to actually showcase your pricing to your clients, I hope that you've got value from the session. Does anybody else have any questions or anything? Don't forget that we are always here at AVN to sort of help you with any queries or questions on the software, or if you're having any issues. We do have the Facebook community as well. So they're more than happy if you have any questions about what people are doing. I'd definitely put it on there. It's very active at the moment. Ian, you come on screen. Did you want to? Yeah. Yeah,
I've got a question, but it's about Time's Up, but not about what you're talking today. Just that in the back end of Time's Up, where say it's at the turnover ranges, if you want to sort of split one of them in two, the only way I've found to do it is really to delete everything and then put it all in. If that makes sense, say like the first one is 0 to 80,000. Mm-hmm. If for whatever reason you wanted to put 0 to 50 and then 50 to 80, it doesn't let you do that. You've got to delete everything.
Right.
So if you put 0 to 50, it says, because the next one would be 80 to whatever, 150, it notices that there's a gap and it's basically won't allow you to do it, or I haven't found a way that will allow me to do it.
Let me look into that for you with regards to that. I've not noticed that myself, so splitting the turnover ranges. I've never had to do that myself, so I don't have an answer for that, but I can definitely look into that and let you know with regards to how that's done. I'll also put it on the email for everybody else who's listening as well, so if it does come up, we'll know how to do that. There should be a way around it. I do have one of our programmers in today, so I'll test it, and if I get it working, I'll get him to have a look into it for you, definitely.
All right, thank you.
That's okay.
I'll mute myself now.
Just to let you know that your next session online is the 26th of October, and that's on getting and converting prospects. So hopefully the right prospects that will want to pay the prices that you've set within your practice. And then we also have some training here at the Avian head office. I don't know if you booked onto it yet. On the 16th of October, we've got quick wins. So that's Time's Up training, the tax tools training, and some tax training as well. And then on the 17th of November, we also have Getting Things Done Your Way and Getting Your Team on Board. So that's system builder training, and then looking at getting your team on board. If you don't have a team, it's really good training to take back to help your clients with who do have team. If you did book on both those sessions, we do have a really good rate at the Ibis Hotel next door for our members. It's £47 bed and breakfast if you did want to come to the back-to-back days here. Yeah, you can just book those on the website. They're both included as part of your membership, so no cost for the training. And then we also have the 6th of December masterclass, which I think a lot of you, if you're a trialist, are booked on, so it'd be great to see you all there for the 3 days. If nobody else has any more questions, I will sign off. I have recorded the session, so I'll send you out a recording of the session. I'll send you out a link to the what if analysis calculator that you have in System Builder, so you can find that easily. I'll also send you out the link to any of the questions that we've had today, if I get any answers to those as well, in case it's affecting yourselves. So thank you very much for joining me for this hour. I hope you found it valuable, and we'll see you all on another session or at the training session at AVN headquarters. Thank you very much.